set for Finland's municipal elections been won? Who is who? Every candidate has just one aim right now: to be elected. Without a doubt, their election depends on your vote. But how can they reach out to the masses? Normally, in the past, elections involve physical campaigns to derive voter turnout. But with the COVID restrictions, it's impossible. This is where we come in. Nana TV International brings you live interactive pre-election interviews week after week as the candidates come head to head with their campaign messages and on how to vote for them. The masses, on the other hand, get to know the candidates and their affiliated political parties. What an excellent opportunity. Who is Who Municipal Election 2021 is proudly brought to you by Nana TV International. For us, by us. All is set for Finland's municipal elections been won. Who is who? Every candidate has just one aim right now: to be elected. Without a doubt, their election depends on your vote. But how can they reach out to the masses? Normally. Hello and welcome to the second edition of Who is Who Municipal Elections 2021. And of course, my name is Nana. Now let's bring our attention from the British monarchy brouhaha. Let's mind our business. Let's come home. And by home, I mean Finland. And minding our business means we have municipal elections coming up for 13th of June 2021. So this is our business. Let's take care of it. And I'm so glad that you are all out there to do the watching. And of course, when it's in due time, we give you also the opportunity to send your questions that you want the candidates to also answer. This is Who is Who Municipal Elections, supported by Moniheli, Paid Association and Affairs Association, of course, the Aspirates Magazine, and our affiliates media houses, the Debatant Media, also supporting. This means that we are all together in this. This is a community work. It is not for Nana or Nana TV. So let's get to work. Our municipal elections coming up in 13th of June. Someone was saying that it's cancelled. It is not cancelled. It's just been postponed. So let's get to work. Let's try to make the public get aware of what is happening so that at the end of the day, they will vote. Remember, you, the voter, have the integrity, the honesty, and the experience when you vote. So why don't you vote? You have the power. You have the rights to get them there. So who is the champion? The candidates are not the champions. We are the champion. At the end of the day, we decide who to go and who is not able to go. So let's all vote our candidates. Make sure that you have the right information. That is why we are here, to get your candidates to you, get to hear their manifesto, their vision, their mission, the agenda they have when they get the nod. And of course, we are here to also support you in all of that. My name again is Nana. Many thanks to my producer all the way in Canada for steering the wheels, making sure that the technical aspects of Who is run smoothly. Thank you, everyone. So let me introduce my co-host for today, for this second edition, is none other than Obi West. Shukru, forgive me if I get it wrong, but he's the CEO and the founder at Finland Afro Diaspora Awards and Face of African Queen, publisher and editor-in-chief at Diaspora Magazine. He is from Anambra State, Nigeria, self-proclaimed the media apostle. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Obi West. Obi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Nana TV. It's a pleasure joining you today to x-ray what we have on ground here today. I'm so pleased to be here today to co-host this special edition of Who is Who of our municipal, amongst our municipal candidates. So I'm so glad being here today. Thank you very much. I hope we say
You're
through.
welcome. We're happy to have you also to do this very, very important segment. Why don't you, all our viewers, we appreciate, why don't you share and invite your friends? Let's get to know our candidate for the second edition. Now we're moving on. Let me introduce our candidate for tonight. First of all, just because we celebrated Mother's Day, let me pamper my own. Let me pamper my sister. Let me pamper my kind. I have one of the greatest, most admirable, beautiful, a clear example of beauty with brains. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a candidate and you will love her at the end of the day. I love you, sister, and I celebrate you. Now, introducing her as a candidate, she's a Cameroonian-born resident of Turuku. She's a sustainability policy specialist. She holds PhD in strategy formulation and implementation. She is a mother and a wife, and of course, a mentor. Teresia is running for the municipal elections under the ticket of the Green Party in Turuku. Dr. Teresia, welcome to Who is Who Municipal Election, second edition. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Nana, for that wonderful introduction. It's a big pleasure to be here again, and especially sharing the platform with my colleagues from other parties. I can't wait to see what we talk about today.
we are happy to have you again also. Now moving on, I have another candidate. He graduated with a bachelor and master's degree from Metropolia UAS and La Peranta University of Technology, respectively. He holds an MCE in electrical engineering and major in solar economy. He's also the CEO of a delivery company between Finland and Cameroon, Trinity Motors. He's a father and a husband. He's running as a candidate in the municipal elections under the ticket of Keskusta Party, Helsinki. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Franklin Injita from Southern Cameroon.
Thank you, Nana, for the introduction. It's my pleasure to be on the platform. And I hope that we are going to be having a great time together and discussing our visions, our goals, our contributions as candidates towards a more sustainable Finland. And I cannot express my joy for being part of this show tonight, because it's a great opportunity for me and my viewers to know that this is what we have in heart to give to the country where we live. And we are also looking up to them, because without their vote, we cannot make it. And I hope that
Absolutely.
And I hope that if they want to see the change that we all want to see in Finland, then only their vote can decide this. So I am glad to meet my colleague from the other parties and my host. And as the interview continues, I will surely be having more to say.
Thank you very much. I can say that the feeling is mutual. Now, I mean, last but definitely not the least, we have Anthony Sopurunchi. Ani is a Nigerian healthcare professional, doctoral researcher, and director of Shivia Foundation, a non-profit and private public partnership dedicated to create awareness and support violence exposed children across sub-Saharan African country. He's a candidate for the municipal election under the Swedish People's Party all the way in Vasa. Thank you very much, Anthony, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Nana. I wish to say that I am super excited to be part of this evening discussion of who is who in the forthcoming election, Finnish municipality election here. And to my co-candidates, I wish everyone a happy evening. And to my viewers, especially those who are living in Vasa, at the Vasa Bowl, I wish to reassure you once more that we are all nation builders. Together, we are going to build a Vasa that works for us. Together, we are going to have a city that fits for you and me.
That's right.
All right. Thanks so much.
Right. I don't mean to cut you, but there's going to be an opportunity for you to speak to, the municipality. So just don't bring it out yet. So let's hold on for
All right.
for us.
Thanks.
So this is it. Who is Who Municipal Election second edition? Today is the 13th of March, and my co-host, as I've already introduced him, will be steering the wheels together. Obi West. Obi West has already interviewed, I think, all the candidates for this evening. So I don't know what's coming up from his angle, but I'm sure that it's all going to be for worthy cause. So you, on the other hand, our viewers, why don't you share and invite your friends? You also have the opportunity. Any question you have for the candidates, please, if you have a question for any of the candidates, make sure that before the question, you write their name. If it is for Anthony, you write Anthony, and this question is for him. If it is for all the candidates, you write for all candidates. And then we read the question for the candidates to answer you. So please make sure that when you're writing your question to who, you write their name. And of course, at the time, in due time, I will read them all out for you. And of course, OB2 is also on the line, also be checking us questions where you can also connect with the viewers also online. So be rest assured that OB is also standing by to also take some of the questions that he could also answer to save time. And so we are moving on. Now is the time. Let's set the ball rolling. My first question for the candidates, and I start with Dr. Teresia. Dr. Teresia, tell us about the Green Party. Why the Green Party? And then also tell us about your municipality, Turku.
Okay, thank you for that question, Anna. Why did I choose the Green Party? I said in my previous interview that the Green Party chose me, but I still had a choice whether to say yes or no. But why did I say yes? My work, my most recent work has been related to sustainability and climate action at the municipal level, which, as you know, is one of the core points of the Green Party. So that's where my first relation to the Green Party is. But that's not the only thing. The Green Party is one of those parties that addresses a lot of international issues. So as an international talent in Finland, it was easy for me to relate with the things that the Green Party wants to address, like climate action, integration of immigrants, multiculturalism, equality issues. So those are the things that drew me to the Green Party, and the fact that it's very easy to relate with most of the people in the Green Party. And a little bit about Turku and the Green Party right now. The Green Party is the second largest in the city council of Turku. So they are quite influential in the decisions that are made in the city of Turku. And then one other thing I would like to say that is peculiar of Turku is that there are up to 20,000 people in Turku who don't speak Finnish or Swedish as a mother tongue. And the Green Party has been very forward thinking about this. We as candidates with multicultural background or multilingual abilities came together and we made sure that the election material is available in all the languages that are represented in the party. So if you look on the Green Party's website in Turku, election material is available right now in 12 languages. And our aim is to have that in 30 languages about. And that fits quite closely to my dream that everyone living in this municipality should be able to have access to the important information about this city. First, in their mother tongue. This does not discredit the fact that we should learn the language of this country. But as I always say, I believe that when you talk to someone, starting from the language that they understand, you're talking to their heart first. So that's one thing that is good about the Green Party. I wouldn't go too much. Let me leave the rest for later.
Thank you very much. Viewers, I hope you are listening, because what they are saying that what gives you the idea of who to vote for and why you should vote. So please pay very much attention what they are saying, because the opportunity might not come again. So please let us pay attention as they speak to us. Right, thank you very much. I move on to Anthony. Anthony, representing the Swedish People's Party in Vasa. Anthony, why the Swedish People's Party and Vasa City? Tell us
Let me first of all say that my journey into Finnish politics has been an exciting one. Before I joined my present party, I had the opportunity of consulting and researching about a different party organization here in Finland to study about their value, their focus, and their understanding about integration. But at the end of the day, I was amazed by what I discovered with Swedish People's Party of Finland, that is SFP. As we all know that Finland operates within the framework of parliamentary representative democracy. SFP as a party here in Finland as well, they also focus so much on a governance that works. They focus much on democracy that centers so much on human rights, anti-corruption, rule of law, and the human rights as well. And at the same time, like I have said, they respect each people's rights, starting from, it doesn't matter the group you belong to, minority group, native people who are of native background, and at the same time, vulnerable people. So it is my wish that I belong to this party, knowing too well that when it comes to language aspect of it, they speak language and also I speak language. I believe so much that I can do the necessary things within the party with my language and the language they understand more better. Thanks.
Thank you very much for telling us about your party and your municipality. Now I move to Mr. Franklin Injita. Mr. Franklin, why the Keskusta and Helsinki? Tell us about your party.
Oh, thank you, Nana. Not being so different from the other candidates, the Keskusta party has a main focus on sustainable development, which is what is most trending now in the world. We want to see that there is zero poverty, zero hunger, equal justice, there is gender equality, sustainable energy, and sustainable institutions. And this is some of the things that the Keskusta party is all about. It is a party that, to me, it feels I am at home because their door is open to everyone, irrespective of race, sexual orientation, skin color, or whatsoever. It is a friendly party, and they want to see that the lives of people in Finland is in a balance. There is they have a goal to make sure that there's no segregation in the society where we live in Finland. The Central Party emphasizes the well-being of children, and especially children with disabilities. They want to see that their rehabilitation is something which is given much concern and attention by those that matters in the society, like the stakeholders, different stakeholders in Finland. And also, the Keskusta party is very concerned about the integration of immigrants, qualified immigrants, in the labor force in Finland, because they are aware of the challenges that immigrants like us will face in Finland. After studying, we cannot find the right kind of jobs as we claim. So the Keskusta party wants to see that immigrants in Finland are given the opportunity that they deserve in terms of job. Because a good number of us, we have decided to live here at least permanently. And if we are not given those opportunities, then the future is not certain for us. So the Keskusta party has all of these things mentioned in their plan of action, and they want to see that it is being achieved as a political party in Finland. And also the Keskusta party is so concerned about the transition into green energy and climate change. They have an action plan to see that climate change can be mitigated as much as possible in Finland and in the world as large. So I found it a right place to belong because their goals and their pursuit is in line to what I have always been wanting to see achieved. Because as an electrical engineer and major in solar energy, I realized that the transition into renewable energy is not just an imagination. It is something that is already happening in some countries like Norway. They have already achieved 100% renewable energy from solar and hydro. And Keskusta Party has those things on their plan of action. So it was easy for me to relate with them, present my plans and my goals and my aspirations, and then given the opportunity to run as a candidate in the party. And also I have been impressed by the number of immigrants that are also running under the Keskusta Party in other cities like Lappeenranta. I couldn't think otherwise than to join them and being given the opportunity to express my political views on things that concerns my stay in Finland. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've all said, and giving you the platform, you've all shared about your party and the municipality in which you represent. I hand over to Obi West. Obi, what are your expectations? What, if you have any questions for them before we move on to the main reason why we are here, their manifesto?
Okay, thank you very much, Nana TV, for the opportunity given to me to be part of this great cause. And I also want to say a very big thank you to our friends who thought it meaningful to avail themselves for this special cause as well. It's a pleasure having you guys here. I have this question and I want to address the question to our beautiful sister out there, Dr. Teresa. While she was answering the question that you asked her, she made mention of the Green Party being the second largest political party in Turku. And we all know what it means for a political party to have a high number of party members, because it's a big strength for them or for all political parties. So, Dr. Teresa, this is the question that I have here for you. How do you intend leveraging on the party strength, being the second largest political party in Turku? How do you intend to leverage on this strength for a possible victory at the polls? And also, what are your strengths towards the forthcoming municipal election in Turku?
Okay, thank you very much, Obi West, for that question. How will I leverage this strength that we have as a party?
Yeah.
First of all, let me start from an individual level, and then I will go why I think I have my strengths as a candidate. The first reason is that I have experience working at the municipal level, at the central administration. So I know the operational model of the city administration. That is the first thing. The second thing is that I am trained in strategy formulation and implementation. So it's easy for me to know, to look at policy and be able to know whether this policy, how is it going to have an impact, or is it not going to have an impact, or what can we do to make sure that the policy reaches the right people. The third thing that I think is my strength is that I know that policies are made on one side, but I also know that the everyday person is the one that has to ensure that these policies are actually carried out. And if they are not carried along, the politicians will speak and write policy and make investments, and probably nothing will happen. And that's my starting point for everything that I do in my campaign. I want to first make sure that policy is understood by the everyday person, because I think they are one of the most important stakeholders when it comes to policy succeeding in society. And then on the party level, how am I going to use this strength? I think I'm already using it in terms of what I mentioned before. I'm already using that. When I get into somewhere, it's not only about this situation. I ask myself, what are the challenges that I have? Or what are the challenges that made me to not be here before? Why did I not know anything about the city? Why did I not know anything about politics? And my first challenge was that everything was hidden in the language. And even when it is written, it's not written in simple Finnish. So I went pushing for the fact that information should be made available to this part of the society that doesn't usually care to look at these websites. Because first you think, okay, it's in Finnish. It's too much work for me to think about that. And then we came up with this international page. And in addition to what I said before, we don't only have our party manifesto in different languages. We have it in Selko, Suomi, or simple Finnish. So I am already using the strength that we have as a party to bring in more people. And I think more international people are getting interested, at least I can tell from around me, are getting interested in what the Green Party is about, in what it has already done in Turku and what it plans to do, because they can actually understand what they are saying. You can speak Finnish, but when you go to read Finnish that is written in very professional language, you probably wouldn't understand. But when you can see it in simple Finnish or in your own language, it's easy for you to understand. I think in that sense, I'm already using that to get to more people.
Okay, thank you very much. We have all listened to Dr. Teresa on how she's going to make use of the strength that she has and also the strength of the Green Party in Turku, being the second largest political party in the first capital of Finland. My second question goes to my brother here, businessman turned politician, Mr. Franklin Njita.
Thank you,
So, Mr. Franklin, during the time you were answering the question that Nana TV asked you, you made mention of Keskusta party being one of the parties in Finland that promotes integration and also making sure that I'm bringing it to the employment part of my question, that Keskusta party being one of the party that that is making it possible for people to get to work or get employment based on what they read or did in school. So, and when I went through your profile here, you have a bachelor's degree in electronic engineering from Metropolia, and you also bagged a master's degree from La Perante University of Technology, where you majored in solar economy. What you read in the university is hot cake in many countries like UK, Canada, even the United States. It's hot cake. Solar economy is what the world is looking for. But here in Finland, you ended up being a businessman, sending cars to Africa. My question here is it unemployment based on your immigrant status that pushed you into what you are doing today, or you decided to do it?
Thank you for the question, and I will answer it in 2 or 3 ways. First, working is a choice, and there are always things of priority beside our qualifications. I could work in Finland, but for now, I choose not to do what I have studied because of one reason or the other. And secondly, yes, upon my graduation, I was not able to find that job for my field of study, which is electrical engineering.
Okay.
Because of the condition in the country where immigrants like myself and you are not easily integrated in the job market. So that was one of the factors why I choose to be doing what I'm doing now rather than working. But yet it becomes a choice to decide if you are going to work or not, and all depends too on your income. By now I could be working, but I want to be self-employed and be a founder. I think beside money and salary and whatever, it's a privilege to be a CEO of a company. And I feel happy when I own my own business, decide my own schedule, decide my own working hours, my own time, and my own closing time and whatsoever, and my own income level. So these are some of the advantages of being self-employed, because you are your own boss. You have a kind of way you go about your own things, and there's no particular time that you have to report at work. If you have other engagements and think that you want to manage your time correctly, then you can decide to be self-employed, even if you have studied something that doesn't relate to what you are doing. So these are some of the advantages of what I'm doing. And then coming back to my field of study being like something that is very much needed in the world and places like Canada, you are quite right. Solar energy engineering is what is trending now. Every country wants to have solar energy because it produces enough electricity from non-carbon dioxide sources, which is something great. But in Finland, we have a challenge with the weather condition. Finland has a very harsh winter, and perhaps almost half of the year is in darkness, and it's not a good country for solar engineering, even though I studied solar engineering in Finland. But they are very limited, a few employers in Finland providing this kind of employment for solar engineers.
Yeah.
And that is one of the reasons why it can be challenging for me to pick a job in Finland as a solar engineer, because in winter there is almost zero production of solar energy. And if you go to other part of Europe, like in Spain and Holland, where there is high sunshine, you will realize that the employment rate there is quite high, even for those who cannot speak their languages, because the production, what we call solar irradiation, the solar irradiation is quite high. Finland has 3.2 kilowatt hour per meter square per day, which is quite low. It's relatively quite low. And in sub-Saharan Africa, the rate of solar irradiation is 6.7 kilowatt meters per day. That is quite high. And you see that the production varies with the employment.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay.
Let me just round up, sir.
Okay.
And I have the belief that I can not only find job to work in the field where the solar energy is being produced. I can be a designer in the company and sell the theories and sell the designs, even if they are not being installed in Finland. So my goal is that I should find that opportunity and do it even as part-time beside my business. But like I said, my business is a matter of choice because I see a lot of advantages in it. But yet, I would like to do solar engineering as part-time alongside my business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you, sir.
I think you've touched the area that I wanted. And our viewers, you've listened to him. The question was, why did he choose to do business? Why did he venture into business instead of working based on what he read in the university? And he has given us a good answer to that. So I'm traveling now to the city of Vasa, though we have the Vasa man here live.
Right. Let's try to make it a bit snappy so we can handle those on the platform also, their questions. So
okay, because I can see there are questions there already. So Mr.
Yes,
Anthony, Mr. Anthony, though this question that I'm about to ask you, Nana has similarly asked you the question, and I still feel like asking you in some way. The question is, what attracted you to the Swedish People's Party of Finland? Is it because you live in Vasa, where a good number of people speak Swedish, or because of what the party has to offer?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. And because of the time, I will try to answer it briefly. It is simple. First of all, it is because of the language.
Okay.
Because I speak Swedish, and it is a Swedish party, people of Finland. And most of the things they do there is in Swedish, but sometimes also in Finnish. On the other side also, it is because of what they have to offer. I took time before I joined the SFP. I made some consultations. I made my research. I found out that at the end of the day, the vision they have, the objective they have, they're all aligned with what I plan to do in life. They are also, it relates so well with what I have in mind about when I was trying to go into politics. Take, for instance, talking about human rights. They are at the forefront of it. They also believe that equality should be applicable to everyone. It doesn't matter your age, your gender, or your race. So these are the two wings at which I am flying with the party SFP. It is just simple like that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Nana, you can take over.
Right. Obi, if you are satisfied with that answer, and of course, our viewers, this is the second edition of Who is Who in the municipal elections come 13th of June, 2021. We have our candidates here sharing their political parties that they affiliated with, the agenda, why they had to join the party, and what's they intend to bring on the table at the end of the day. And of course, Obi has also given us questions, very insightful questions. They've all answered very much brilliantly. Now let me go on the line and also give chance to our viewers. Please remember to share and invite your friends. Let's get to know the candidates and the municipalities in which they represent, so that you would get everything right or come 13th of June. Lukmanu Idrisu, let me first start with Elizabeth Eta. She says, to Theresia Bilola, what has been the response of the population to the translation of election materials into different languages? Do you think this will have an impact on the turnout rate of immigrants on the voting day?
Thank you very much, Elizabeth Eta, for that question. The impact is already being felt. It has been good. When we look at the analytics from that webpage, it has had a lot of visits. And then I also belong to one of the groups that is giving out information in English on the elections on Facebook. And this news was received with a lot of joy, and we got a lot of amazing feedback from that. And then if I speak from my own, should I call it constituency, or the people that I can talk to and ask them about these things, it has been received with a lot of positive feedback. I know a lot of people around me who didn't have a lot of information about the elections, who are visiting that page for that. And I think it will change how people view politics and also help them in deciding what party and which candidate to vote for.
Right. Thank you very much. Elizabeth, I hope you're satisfied with the answer Dr. Theresia has given. Moving on, Colette Zion says, to all, personally guilty of never voting in Finland despite being eligible. I know there are many people like me out there. What are you all going to do or doing to reverse this situation? I start with Anthony, briefly.
Okay, I think from my own side, what I am doing to turn the whole situation is that I have been trying to reach out with immigrants, especially here in Vasa, to educate them more on the needs to follow what is going on in the city, and at the same time to think so much about the politics here in Finland and find the best way to contribute to the city. Because it is shocking that sometimes when you approach an immigrant and ask, are you aware that there is a forthcoming election? The response the person gives, it is not welcoming. It is not something impressive. They always say, is there any election coming up? So I have been doing so much trying to educate people and try to inform people to follow up what is going on in the city.
Thank you very much. Mr. Franklin, please.
Yes. The situation is the same in every country, not only in Finland. Most of the immigrants in Finland think that they are just foreigners here and they are just passing. This is not their true home. That's why anything that is happening here, like politics, doesn't really concern them. In Cameroon, where I come from, the Nigerians who live in Cameroon, they think that anything happening in the Cameroon government is for Cameroonians and they are just foreigners. They came to Cameroon to do business, to hustle, and one day they will go back to their home. That is what they think. But now, the world is taking a trend that we have to change our mindset and our way of thinking and the stereotype about being an immigrant in a country. Many of us in Finland have the Finnish passport, or at least we have the permanent residence, and at least some have lived here for 30 years. So a home is any place where you feel comfortable and wants to contribute in building it. I am an immigrant in Finland, but I believe because I have made up my mind to live in Finland, I am already at home, and I invite every immigrant in Finland to come and vote and be active and get involved because they are already living here and they have made up their mind to live here as long as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Franklin. I move on to Dr. Teresia. What is your take?
Well, my take on that is when I announced my candidature, I immediately announced that I have a social media campaign, Wednesdays for Turku. And my main aim with that campaign is just to continue what I've been doing, telling people like me, telling immigrants, telling international people that you live here, you need to be able to influence the decision-making processes. It's unfortunate that most of us see politics as something for others. But as I say every time, when you wake up from your bed, you take coffee, you get into your car, you go to work, you go to wherever you are going. Almost everything you are doing is being influenced by politics somehow. Decisions are being taken for you. And then we can't sit back and complain and say that the decisions that are taken do not fit our values. We have given the right for others to take those decisions, and they can't take decisions that picture our values when we are not part of voting the people who take those decisions.
Thank you very much. So the question line is open. We are taking your questions now. Before we move on to their manifesto, Lukman Idrisu writes, Dr. Teresia, don't you think policies are made easily understandable for implementers, everyday person, quote unquote, when they are much involved in the formulation stage? Has you or your party thought about that?
Yes, I would say yes and yes and yes. We have thought about that. If you look at our party program here in Turku, you will notice that there is a focus on having more opportunities like citizens panels. So it doesn't end at the elections. Elections is not the only time that we get people to vote and tell us what kind of policies we should make. It's going to continue after the elections. One of the things we want to do is to add the opportunities for citizens to speak back to policymakers and also bring back feedback to them that what you told us, this is how we have addressed it, or this is why we are not able to address it. So it has been thought about. The everyday person would be part of the decision-making process.
All right, thank you very much. Now, more questions coming through from Max Ingham. To all the candidates, you all belong to the parties in government. How do you think the corona situation has been handled by the government? Should there be more collaboration between government and city officials? If yes, how? I start with Mr. Franklin.
Yes, I think the coronavirus situation has been handled very wonderfully in Finland. We have to appreciate the healthcare officials, the Ministry of Healthcare in Finland, for the wonderful work they are doing, because first, a virus cannot be predicted and a virus cannot be caught with hand and killed. It is something that virus, and you cannot know the next trend that it's going to take. We just have to be praying that it should get finished and also life should return to normal, because the government so far is also confused because of the different kinds of things the virus is bringing about. No one was expecting this, and so far they have done their best, and the lockdown is affecting not just us but also the government. So my answer is yes, they have done great.
Thank you very much, Dr. Teresia.
I would agree that the government has done well in managing the corona situation, but Finland is operating like a country that gives rights to individuals. But the way it has gone, people have forgotten that with your rights also come responsibilities. I think that the restrictions that were given were supposed to be given earlier. And then in terms of cooperation between the government and the municipalities, I think that is very important, because the government is speaking for the nation. And you know, the nation is, for me, something that is invisible. The municipality is where the concrete actions can be taken. So it is needed that these two levels cooperate.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Take it from there.
Yeah, I think there has been a healthy cooperation between the municipality and the government when it comes to managing the spread of coronavirus here in Finland, because municipality has been forwarding the statistics of how it has been going in their different cities. So, and also I think that government has been doing so wonderful, trying to restrict the spread of the virus. They have been managing it well, and they have been doing it so that people can have the opportunity to go about their normal businesses and jobs. And at the same time, so that their school children can return back to school. It is why they keep on having one after the other lockdown, just to make sure that the thing is not so much overwhelming and not challenging so much that the government will not be able to handle it.
Thank you very much for all your answers. Now we move on. Time is fast spent. We move on to the question of the day. The question of the day for all the candidates. This is the moment. This is a huge platform. Imagine the masses that in the municipalities waiting to hear from you. The last minute message that you will give to the masses to encourage them to ensure massive participation in this electioneering process. This is it, candidates. Dr. Teresia, Anthony, Franklin, this is the moment. Why should we vote for you? This is the moment. And please, viewers, this is it. Listen to them. This is where the message comes from. And this is where the strength you will need that will encourage you to go and vote. Why? The reason why you should vote. This is the time. And I start with Dr. Teresia. Come 13th of June, why should we get out from our homes to vote for you as Dr. Teresia Bilola and the Green Party? Please talk to the masses. The stage is yours.
So come 13th of June 2021, when you vote for Teresia, you are voting to make sure that the support for integration and employment, especially for immigrants, that's one of the things that we are faced with as a challenge. You are voting that the support for this group of people is made better. How is it made better? By involving these people in planning the initiatives and projects that are related to integration and employment. You are voting that everyone has equal access to quality education. And when I talk about quality education, in Finland, everyone can go to school. But as an immigrant, you need some extra support. Parents who are not first language speakers need extra support for their kids with their homework, for instance. So when you vote for Teresia, you are voting to make sure that all children have an equal right to get the kind of education that they are supposed to get. For the Green Party, education is not something that can be sacrificed. We at the Green Party are saying that you cannot cut funds from education, unlike what other parties are suggesting. So when you are going to vote, think about that. Think about the future of your children. When you vote for Teresia, you are voting for promoting multiculturalism. And when I talk about multiculturalism, I mean that you are voting to make sure that you see more people in decision making that look like you, that have had the kind of experiences that you have had, that have the kind of education that you have had, and that have the opportunity to use the training and the skills that they have acquired to make this country better. And if you vote for Teresia, you are voting to make sure that the everyday resident has a voice. I am the voice of the everyday resident because I believe that the everyday resident should be involved. You all have a role to play in the decisions that affect your daily lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representing the Green Party from Turuku, you just heard from Dr. Teresia. So come 13th of June, you know what to do. You know who to vote for. Don't miss this chance. Go and vote for Dr. Teresia, representing the Green Party and the voice, as she said, for the people, for us. Anthony, take the stage. Why should we vote for you and the Swedish People's Party come the 13th of June?
Okay, I have two agenda for running this election. Here in Vasa, they are very important. Vasa is a huge city populated by 67,569 people. And among this number is 6% of immigrants. According to some people, it might look insignificant, but it is significant. If this 6% is included in decision making, is included in planning for the development of Vasa, I believe that it will make huge impact. One of the agenda I have is that there is need to bring together the available skill within the local people and also within the immigrants and join them together and develop the kind of Vasa we want to have. It makes no sense that Vasa as a city, we spend so much money training people in education, and at the end of it, they all move out in search of job or a better place to live because the study they had was not able to fetch them job in Vasa. Somebody like me, I have been trained with a taxpayer's money, starting from bachelor's degree to doctoral level where I am. It makes no sense to the city. It doesn't benefit them if at the end of the day, I leave because I am not able to get job that merits what I have studied. On the other side, my second agenda is about the well-being of immigrant background children. This is area nobody has been talking about. There was a recently released study made here in Vasa. The result says that immigrant background children, they are more likely to do worse at school and at the same time suffer mental problem. Nobody asks why, but that result is worrisome. It breaks hearts to any meaningful immigrant here in Finland especially here in Vasa. Of course, this study was not made here in Vasa, but it shows how it looks like here in Finland. There is need for we to ask questions and work on those factors that are hindering immigrant children from doing well like native kids. Because Finland should be a place where a child can grow and become whatever he or she wishes to be in life. It is very important. Coming election, I would want every immigrant living in Vasa to come with me. It is a time for we to change the narrative. It is a time for we to be part of the decision that affects all of us. If we all fold our hands and say this is not our thing, what is going on will continue to go on. But if every immigrant here in Vasa would come with me, beside me, and behind me, vote for me, I believe that we will have somebody who can be part of the decision making, who can influence whatever matter or issues that affect all of us. These are two important areas that are interconnected: job creation, employability, creating job through entrepreneurship. It is very, very important that immigrants should be supported, trained, so that they can join in creating job here in Vasa. It is also, everyone should think about that our kids, they are the future of Vasa. If they are equipped, if they are paid attention to, just like others are done, I believe that they will all grow, be resourceful in creating the kind of Vasa we wish to have in the future. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. So representing the Swedish Revolt Party from Vasa, we have Anthony. And please go and vote. If you're living in Vasa, you know your candidates. You've heard from your candidates. What are you waiting for? Make the right decision to go vote for Anthony. Come the 13th of June, I go to Mr. Franklin Ijita. Please, the stage is yours. Why should we vote for you and your party? Qu'est-ce que ça?
All right, thank you for the opportunity. You have to vote for Franklin Jita because I have been a victim of unemployment after my master's study. At the very beginning of my graduation, I realized that I am qualified, or most of us are qualified, but we are not given the same opportunity as other people are given in the country where we have chosen to live, or where we have accepted to live permanently. So my entry into the city council is to be a voice to people who have the same level or similar worries about their status in Finland, because we cannot just be complaining and keep quiet about it. It is time to get involved, to be part of the decision, so that our minority but constant push can lead to something in Finland. The worry is not about me in particular or about us, but maybe about the future of our own children who are also from the immigrant background. What is the future? It's easy for me, yes, to move out of Finland and start life somewhere. But what if my children have decided that they want to live in Finland? What is the future for them in the next 10 or 20 years? So as a father who cares for the future of his children, I thought that it is not productive to stay back and only complaining about the level of unemployment of skilled immigrants in Finland, but to get involved and see if my contribution at the municipal level can continue to advocate for better life of immigrants in Finland. Secondly, I have noticed that children in Finland are given good support, good children allowances, but yet children with disabilities, both of Finnish and the immigrants' background, need special attention, they need special care. So I have one of the goals to see that children who are autistic the destitute children in Finland who cannot read, who cannot write, who cannot talk, who cannot walk. They should be given special attention and they should be given special programs for their rehabilitation. That is one of my goals. And thirdly, I want to see that renewable energy should not just be a concept, but it should be done in Finland. It should be practiced in Finland because the rate at which renewable energy is being achieved in Finland is quite low. Majority of Finnish electricity still comes from conventional sources like fossil fuel, crude oil, and nuclear. They're building a power plant in Pori, which is nuclear, and we are in the time that every country is talking about sustainable development. We are taught in university that sustainable development is the way forward, but yet Finland is building so many nuclear power plants. So what is the future, and what is our concern about environmental protection? So I believe that my entry into the City Council of Helsinki will be a reminder to the stakeholders that this is the way the world is taking, and we cannot go contrary to that. What we preach, we should do it in practice. So vote for Franklin because he has pledged his loyalty, his simplicity, and selflessness to be a voice to you at the City Council. I have never thought of being a politician, but I realize that if we don't get involved, then nothing might change. So we just have to accept the challenges and then show our readiness to make a significant difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come 13th June 2021 from Keskusta, Helsinki, Franklin Injita is for you. So make sure that you go and vote massively. The victory is ours. Let's make sure that we change the narrative and get this right. If you have never voted, if you have never done this, please make sure that this, in fact, this particular one, when you are doing, just think that you are doing it for me. You are going to vote just because you want to make me happy. Just go and vote for our candidates. Right. Before I go to Obi, my co-host, we are bringing the curtains to a close for the second edition of Who is Who. There's one question on the line for all the candidates, and then we take Obi's final conclusion for this evening's edition. From Elizabeth, it says, you all talk about enabling immigrants integrate in the job market, especially with regards to getting jobs in their fields of study. Can you all explain how you will achieve that? Briefly, everyone. I start with Ms. Franklin.
First, the city of Helsinki is a potential employer that we all know. They just have to be honest with their action plan. They have to include on the action plan sustainability in practice, because if we live in a society where just some group of people can find the right kind of job, even though everyone is qualified, then sustainability is not achieved. In short, sustainability means creating a balance in systems. If your left arm is fine and the right arm is not fine, then there's no sustainability. We have just to remind them that this is what we should do to make sure that sustainability is a reality in Finland.
Thank you very much, Dr. Teresia. Please take it up from there.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. From my part, why this is even one of my election teams is that I know it from experience that we as immigrants don't get the kind of support that we are supposed to get for getting into the job market. And how do I think that we can fix this? First of all, I looked at the projects and the initiatives that are meant to be supporting immigrants to get integrated or to get into the job market. And I noticed that immigrants were not represented there as they should be. I also noticed that immigrants were not part of the planning of these projects or the implementation. So that will be my first thing. How do we make sure that every project that has to do with a certain group has someone from that group who has the experience, who has the background, and can actually tell where the shoe is pinching. And then especially for highly educated immigrants, I would want that the support should be different. There should be targeted support for this group of people. Because right now, what the employment services does is that it puts everyone in the same basket, and the goal is for you to get a job. It doesn't matter whether you are getting a job in what you are not trained for or you are getting underemployed. So what I am going to push here is that there should be a special, I think City of Expo is forward thinking. They announced that they already have something like that 2 days ago. They have a service now for highly educated immigrants to support their integration and employment. That's something that I would want to see in Turuku. And then another thing is to have opportunities for work tryouts that are actually related to what you have studied or what you have trained for. So if you go to a language school and you have, say, a bachelor's degree in administrative science, they shouldn't send you to a shop to go and practice, to go and do job practice. They should send you to where you're going to use the training that you have had for that bachelor's. I think that's also one way to make sure that companies start seeing that they can employ people from a different background and not just from Finland. And I think it gives also more motivation for the person who is looking for the job. When you are able to learn the language at the job site, I think you'll be more motivated than sitting in class or going to some place where you will never plan to work to learn the language.
Thank you very much, Dr. Teresia. Anthony, please take it from there.
Okay, thanks so much, Nana, for the question. And I think if at the end of the day I am elected into the council, which I'm optimistic, I am going to work as a middleman between city council and immigrants. If it is a problem of language that is sidelining immigrants from getting job in the job market, I will make it for them to understand that I have been part of the group. I have suffered the same language issues. I will be in a better position to place on table the best way in which immigrants can get this language and they will learn it in a faster way. The best way they can get into the culture and become a part of the society. I will pass those information to the city, making sure that they can give to the immigrants the right education when it comes to language, so that they can get fitted into the society and have that language skill, which can fetch them the kind of job they wish to have. And at the same time, when it comes to like people who have profession like nursing and the medical doctors, in the same way, I will stand like a middleman to make city understand how best they can approach this issue and be able, so that the both sides will benefit at the end of the day.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Now I go to my co-host, Obi, your final conclusion on tonight's who is who? What are your final conclusion? You think our candidates are ready?
This evening has been amazing, and I'm so happy to be here today. All our candidates who are here today, from Dr. Teresia Bilola to Franklin Njita and Anthony Annie, they have all, expressed themselves well to us, and I believe that our audience today, they have been able to understand what they stand for, what their manifestos are, and why they want our vote. The reason why you and I in Nana TV, we are doing this is because we want our voice to be heard. We want our voice to, get to the authority, to be able to change the narrative, to be able to change things that are not going well with our community here in Finland. Like what a lady said here, she said she has been, shying away from voting, which is very, very wrong, because this is the time for all of us to come out and vote for our candidates, vote for those who will represent us at the municipal level. In politics, it starts from the grassroots, from the municipal level. then it gets to the parliament level. So the grassroots level matters a lot because we need people who will be there to represent us. All the candidates this evening, they have beautiful manifestos, and what they represent or what they stand for, it's something that the immigrant community have been yearning for. You know, like I was speaking, having a discussion with an African politician here, and she opened up to me and told me some of the, you know, abnormalities that is that you would find in Finnish politics. Number one, like, you know, our candidates, I believe they are aware of this. Even if they don't get voted, they may get some appointments in the board. Like the person in question, she told me that she, while filling the form before she contested the election, she indicated the areas of her interest that she would like to be in the board where she can have access to immigrant children and bring change within that sector, and also the youth level and also the city councils. But at the end, what they did was that they did not give her or appoint her in these areas where she has indicated her interest, but rather they push her to the old people's board. Old people, people that are above 70, and you don't find immigrants there. We don't have much old people there. So how is she going to impact? So because of that, she decided not to become a board member in that board because there's no immigrant. There's no old person from Africa or from the immigrant background there. And, you know, the immigrant background will say, oh, this lady, she's a member of this, she's a board member, but we are not feeling her impact or seeing her impact, not knowing that they pushed her to a wrong place. Let me use that word, a wrong place, the old people's place. So you see, this kind of narratives needs to be changed. That's why I'm appealing to immigrants in Finland. Let's come out and vote. Let's come out and support our people. This is the right time. We need to come out from our comfort zone and, you know, do what is right at the right time, and this is the right time.
Thank you very much, Obi, my co-host. This is the right time to do the right thing. Thank you very much, all our dear candidates. I've had the opportunity and the honor to have the CEO and the founder at Finland Afro Diaspora Awards and Face of African Queen, the publisher and chief editor at Diaspora Glitz magazine, Obi West Nwachukwu, and my co-host. Thank you so
media
much.
Apostle. Add my title, the media apostle.
Self-acclaimed media apostle. Thank you very much for your time and your contribution. It means a lot to the community. And our candidates, I start with Dr. Teresia. She's a Cameroonian-born resident of Turku. She's a sustainability policy specialist. She holds PhD in strategy formulation and implementation. She's a mother, a wife, and a mentor. Teresia is running for the municipal elections under the Green Party, Turku. So there you have it. You've heard her manifesto. She's ready. Please go and vote for Dr. Teresia for the Green Party in Turku residents. You have your candidates and you've seen your candidates. You've heard your candidates. Nothing to shy away from now. No excuses this time around. And I have also Mr. Franklin Injita from Southern Cameroon. He graduated with a bachelor and master degree from Metropolia UAS and La Peranta University of Technology, respectively. He holds an MSc in electrical engineering and major in solar economy. He's also the CEO of a delivery company between Finland and Cameroon, Trinity Motors. So look for that, Trinity Motors. He's a father and a husband. He's running as a candidate in the municipal elections under the ticket of Keskusta Party in Helsinki. So there you have it. You've heard from him, his manifesto. So all candidates, all immigrants in Helsinki, you have heard your candidates, no mistakes and no complaint. Go and vote for Mr. Franklin Injita come 13th of of June. And last but not the least, a very vocal man in the house, Anthony Sopuruchi. And he is a Nigerian healthcare professional, doctoral researcher, and director of Chivia Foundation, a non-profit and private public partnership dedicated to create awareness and support violence-exposed children across sub-Saharan African country. He's a candidate for the municipal election under the Swedish People's Party in Vasa. So you've heard Anthony also from the Swedish People's Party in Vasa. So please go and vote. You don't have excuse. Go and vote. All immigrants in Vasa, please vote. This is the time. We are changing the narrative. New politics has come. Let's do the right thing. So thank you very much. My appreciation goes to my director all the way in Canada for steering the wheels for us with regards to technical and producing the show, and all our viewers who have asked questions and all who have also commented. Well, with your compliments, I know I told last week that with who is who, we don't take compliments, but of course we appreciate them very much. Your questions is very much needed at this point. So please go and vote. If you have never done that, you don't have to be a citizen to vote in the municipal elections. Please, if you have lived in Finland 2 years or more and you are resident in Finland, you can vote. So please go and vote. Next week, another set of candidates will be coming your way with their manifestos. Get your questions ready. And of course, I would have a co-host with me. So my name has been Nana. This has been brought to you by Nana TV International, Diaspora Relates Magazine, Debate on Media, and of course, supported by Moniheli Aru, Heed Association, Apais Association. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Yes, thank you to my viewers, and we look forward to your votes.
Past elections involve physical campaigns to derive voter turnout, but with the COVID restrictions, it's impossible. This is where we come in. Nana TV International brings you live interactive pre-election interviews week after week as the candidates come head to head with their campaign messages and on how to vote for them. The masses, on the other hand, get to know the candidates and their affiliated political parties. What an excellent opportunity. Who is Who Municipal Election 2021 is proudly brought to you by Nana TV International. For us, by us. All is set for Finland's municipal elections in one. Who is Who? Every candidate has just one aim right now: to be elected. Without a doubt, their election depends on your vote. But how can they reach out to the masses? Normally, in the past, elections involve physical campaigns to derive voter turnout. But with the COVID restrictions, it's impossible. This is where we come in. Nana TV International brings you live interactive pre-election interviews week after week as the candidates come